They said he vanished with a train full of gold, documents, and a weapon the world wasn't ready for. The year was 1945. The war was ending, but the race for its secrets had just begun. When the Third Reich collapsed, its armies surrendered. But its scientists, its treasure, and its experiments disappeared. Whole convoys of classified cargo vanished into the Alps and deserts. And as the Allies divided Germany, a new war began. A silent one for stolen knowledge. Today, we open the file on the secret laboratories and lost technology of the post-war world. From Nazi Wunderwaffe and hidden gold trains, to Argentina's doomed nuclear dream on a remote island. By the spring of 1945, the Allies had found more than a defeated army. They found blueprints for weapons decades ahead of their time. Ramjet aircraft, guided missiles, infrared scopes, and sketches of orbital platforms. The Nazis called them Wunderwaffe, wonder weapons. Some were real. The V-2 rocket, the Me-262 jet fighter, the guided V-1 flying bomb. Others existed only in fragments: anti-gravity engines, particle cannons, and nuclear devices designed in hidden research centers. As American, Soviet, and British troops closed in, scientists destroyed records, moved prototypes, and vanished. Some surrendered, some defected, and some simply disappeared. Wunderwaffe and the vanishing scientists. SS General Hans Kammler was one of those who vanished. He oversaw the V-2 rocket program and supervised construction of underground weapons complexes across occupied Europe. In April 1945, he ordered the destruction of all documents related to Die Glocke and experimental propulsion. Days later, he was gone. No confirmed death certificate, no remains. The US later captured hundreds of engineers under Operation Paperclip, including Werner von Braun, Arthur Rudolph, and Kurt Debus. They were quietly relocated to America, their records cleansed, and put to work on US missile programs. Within 10 years, their designs launched the first intercontinental rockets. But not every scientist reached the West. The Soviets seized others, transporting entire laboratories eastward under Operation WWII. Factories, equipment, and families were taken overnight to build Stalin's own rocket empire. For the first time in history, technology itself became a spoil of war. When Germany fell, so did its stolen fortune. Artworks, currency, and gold stripped from occupied Europe were loaded into trains headed for the Alps and Silesia. One convoy, departing Breslau in 1945, reportedly carried 300 tons of gold bullion and thousands of stolen artworks. Its destination: the tunnels beneath the Owl Mountains, the same region tied to Der Riese and Die Glocke. It never arrived. Soviet forces occupied the area within days, but no treasure was found. For decades, locals whispered of sealed tunnels, collapsed shafts, and ghost trains buried under the forest. In 2015, radar scans near Wałbrzych, Poland, detected a 100-meter anomaly shaped like a train. The Polish army cordoned off the site, but later declared it inconclusive. Skeptics say it's geological. Believers point out that the area remains under military supervision. Documents uncovered in 2018 from Germany's Federal Archives mention Sondertransport 77B, a classified rail convoy under Kammler's authority. The cargo manifest is still missing. Whether it carried gold, art, or experimental materials, one fact remains: the last of Nazi Germany's wealth vanished the same week as its most secret scientists. The same pattern appeared in North Africa. In 1943, as Field Marshal Erwin Rommel's Afrika Korps retreated from Tunisia, intelligence reports claimed they buried crates of gold, and strategic documents in the desert. British MI6 officers recovered fragments of coded maps, but the main cache was never found. Even today, treasure hunters scour the dunes for Rommel's gold, a name that became legend among veterans. These mysteries aren't just about wealth. They hint at how chaos concealed technology and how easily post-war intelligence blurred the line between recovery and theft. The strangest secret didn't hide in Europe at all, but 8,000 miles away, in South America. After the war, thousands of former Nazi scientists fled to Argentina through Vatican and Red Cross escape networks. President Juan Perón welcomed them, promising new homes and laboratories. Among them was an Austrian physicist named Ronald Richter. In 1949, he convinced Perón that he could create nuclear fusion, the same reaction that powers the sun, inside a mountain lab on Huemul Island, deep in Patagonia. The project received millions in funding and military protection. By 1951, Perón publicly announced that Argentina had achieved controlled thermonuclear energy. The world was stunned. If true, Argentina had leaped decades ahead of both the US and Soviet Union. But when a government inquiry arrived months later, they found no reactor, no instruments, only faked readings and improvised equipment. Richter had lied. He was arrested for fraud and later released without trial. Declassified Argentine files show that many of the project's early scientists had prior ties to Germany's wartime aviation labs. Some may have been seeking asylum under scientific cover. The Huemul fiasco was less about fusion and more about deception, a geopolitical illusion to attract exiled talent and Cold War prestige. Yet the fantasy of Nazi technology reborn in Argentina refused to die. Even today, conspiracy theories claim remnants of Die Glock or Kammler's work reached Patagonia, hidden within Perón's military projects. No proof has ever surfaced, but the myth still glows, faint and radioactive. When the war ended, the victors inherited not morality, but opportunity. Under paperclip, over 600 German scientists relocated to the United States. Under WWII, at least 7,000 went to the Soviet Union. Their knowledge became the foundation of the space race and nuclear arms race alike. In 1957, von Braun's Redstone rocket launched America's first satellite. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin orbited Earth using systems built on German schematics. The same blueprints that once guided V-2 missiles over London now guided humanity beyond the atmosphere. Meanwhile, in Europe, rumors of buried arsenals continued. In 2019, Polish archaeologists found crates of V-2 components and jet prototypes in sealed tunnels near Wrocław. The discovery confirmed that large sections of the Nazi weapons program had been hidden, not destroyed. As for the Nazi gold train, no official recovery has ever been acknowledged. Polish military archives still classify excavation reports from 2015 as restricted. Unofficially, ground-penetrating radar data remains withheld for reasons of national security. Across the Atlantic, Argentina's Huemul Island project collapsed, but its ambition lived on. In 1952, Perón created the Argentine Atomic Energy Commission, hiring former German scientists to continue nuclear work legally. Their descendants still operate the Bariloche Research Center today. Science, even discredited, has a way of surviving the truth. The hidden laboratories of the Third Reich did more than shape technology. They reshaped the ethics of power. Once secrecy became a weapon, truth itself became expendable. Every superpower learned the same lesson. Knowledge, no matter how monstrous, was worth more than justice. The same governments that condemned Nazi crimes in court hired their perpetrators in laboratories. The same scientists who built weapons of terror built rockets of exploration. The moral divide between them was erased by classified budgets and Cold War fear. Even today, the remnants of these programs echo through modern defense research in stealth aircraft, hypersonic propulsion, and black budget energy projects. Much of it began in those last desperate months of 1945, when a dying regime buried its sins under tons of concrete and gold. The treasure hunters still search, but the real treasure was never metal or art. It was information. And that treasure was taken long ago. The war ended, the weapons evolved, and the laboratories moved underground, hidden not beneath mountains, but behind bureaucracy. Because after rockets and radiation, the next frontier of control wasn't physical, it was psychological. The age of secret science was only beginning. They tried to bury the truth. We dig it up. Subscribe and don't look away.